Hey everybody, it's Maggie Mulhern here. I am with the ever fabulous and happy Lynda Wallace, who just wrote this very cool book, A Short Course on Happiness. Lynda is a certified happiness, positive psychology coach, and she has agreed to meet with us. This is a bestseller. How cool is that? She's agreed to meet with us because she's going to tell us how to translate that happiness into the salon world. So just in general, what are your tips for finding happiness for anyone?
Sure. Well, one of the most important things is this idea of what's called a positivity ratio, which a researcher named Barbara Fredrickson has done a lot of wonderful work in this area. And to make your days happier, to make your years, make your life happier, you want to pay attention to that positivity ratio. And that means just add more positive experiences and emotions into your life and try to minimize the negative experiences and emotions. We all have them. They're real, absolutely. You just want to try not to get too stuck in the negative and maybe crowd it out a little by doing more of what you really love to do with people that you really enjoy being with.
Okay, so for a salon owner, for example, he or she is having like a really crummy day.
Yeah.
What would you suggest? Given your philosophy, that what would make that day a better day?
Okay, so that's a wonderful question. One thing is, I mean, I've always noticed that when I talk to salon owners, these are people who knew from a really young age this is what they wanted to do. There's something about it. They love working on hair, they love working on cosmetics, they love being with people, or they always wanted to own their own business, and they're doing it. But it's a really stressful job running your own business, and so taking a moment to just remember that, boy, I really am doing this thing that I love to do, and try to remember why you love to do it can really sort of can help you get unstuck from that. And then if you can remember what it is that you really love about it, see if you can find a way to build a little bit more of that into your day. If I wanted to be a salon owner because I love to be with clients, then get yourself out of the back room where you're spending all your time, working on the order, and go be with a client for a little while.
Okay, so that's a salon owner. Is it different for the stylist?
Well, for a stylist, I mean, you for one thing, it is different, of course, because it's a job as opposed to your business. But you went into that job for a reason. And when people can recast the work they're doing from a job and think about it as a career or even as a calling, and think about the thing what's the best thing I can do for my clients today? And very often it is your client's going to walk out of there feeling a whole lot better about herself than she did when she walked in. And if you can focus on that mission that probably drove you to want to do that in the first place, you can have a big impact on your own day.
And obviously that's the same for a manicurist or a skincare specialist, anybody in the salon, in the beauty world.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, boy, if you make my feet look better, I'm going to walk out of there feeling a whole lot better than I did when I walked in.
So you've done something good for somebody. Mm-hmm. So if you're having a day, you're a stylist or a manicurist or somebody in the beauty world, and you've got that client or one client after another who is driving you crazy and you're miserable, how can you snap out of it?
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing is to try to help your clients snap out of it. And we all love to tell stories, and we love to tell stories where we look good. And so if you've got client after client after client who are just coming in and complaining about their day, complaining about their kids, complaining about whatever it is, if you can find a way to get them to tell you a positive story, tell me the best thing that happened to you today, or, boy, that's really interesting about your job. How did you manage to cope with that difficult person? If you can get them to tell you a story that reflects well on them, and then notice it. Say, wow, that's really cool the way you did that thing. Or, I'm so impressed that you were able to do that. Or, you must have really had to train really hard to run in that race or something. Your client's going to walk out feeling not only more beautiful, but really good about themselves. And it's almost sure to give you a boost, too.
All right, and that kind of answers my last question, which was, how do you transfer all of this to your client? How do you make your client happier? She's walking out of there looking better, and just, again, you want to reiterate or add anything to that, how you make this better for your client.
Well, she came in there so she could walk out looking beautiful. Never let her leave without telling her she does.
Oh, that's so great. Okay, so again, it's called A Short Course in Happiness by Lynda Wallace. And how does one get a copy of this?
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or your local bookstore.
All right,
Thanks so
well,
much.
thank you so much for giving us this time. It's so nice to meet you. You're making me
really
happy. Just
enjoyed it.
hanging with Lynda is making me just a happier person. So you're wonderful. Thank you so much.
so
All right, we'll see
much.
you. All right, bye.